Hi, this is Diana Lloyd, and I'm with the Pittsburgh Art Walk, and I'm here with Mindy Lee, and this is her first art walk. She is based here in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. She's based here in Pittsburgh, Kansas, and we would love to learn more about what kind of art she does and what makes her motivated to do these wonderful things. Okay, so what is your art? What do you do?
Mostly, so I do ink drawings, and the theme of most of them, I would say, is probably spooky, creepy skulls and things like that. So,
Oh, cool. That's
yeah,
so very cool.
yeah.
And creepy, spooky schools and things. So that's right coming up. Halloween is your element, isn't
Oh, yeah. I love Halloween.
it? That's great. So you do ink drawings. What inspires you to make those things?
So originally, the person who inspired me to make art, I guess from the beginning, was my dad. So when I was really, really young, I used to sit on his lap next to him in his recliner, and I would watch him draw. And so he was really the person that inspired me to start making art. And last year, he actually, he's pretty crafty in a lot of things. Aside from drawing, he actually does a lot of he builds things. And last year, he actually handcrafted a really nice drafting table for me. So I'd have like my own space to sit and create art. So like every time I sit at that table to draw, I'm reminded of my dad and the person who inspired me to start making art. So it kind of makes for a really creative, inspiring space for me.
That's amazing. I would love to have something my dad made for me and just have that inspiration all the time. That's amazing. Wow. So what is your favorite time to work?
Well, I have a day job, so during the day I'm at work, but I do a lot of my thinking for ideas during the day, and then I actually start creating in the evening.
Nice. Yes. Which odes well, I feel like, to to the nighttime scenes of what I'm gathering. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So your dad inspired you to start whenever you were really young. So did you start drawing when you were also really young? How long have you been?
Three years old.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
My mom, I know somewhere in my mom's house, she's got, I think, drawings from when I was 3 years old. She didn't throw anything away. So I know she's just got boxes of stuff I've done since I was a little kid. So
Oh, that's really cool. I love looking at old artworks from how we've progressed through our lives. It's like,
oh
oh
yeah, yeah.
wow, yeah, I made squiggles at that age. Okay, cool. And oh, so whenever you are drawing and you use the inks and all that, how do you start? Do you just start meandering on a page? Do you look at images? What's your process?
So typically I'll have kind of a little something in mind. So, which most of the time is just, I want to draw something creepy, which is really broad. So it doesn't really give me anything specific. So I do a lot of research. I'd say I probably spend more time researching than actually sketching. It's just trying to come up with different ideas. I actually have a little notepad in my phone where I write down ideas as they come to me so that if later, that evening or later on in the week, I sit down to draw and I just can't think of anything, I'll look at that reference list. But I actually have a book that I purchased that it's probably backwards when it's on the recorded screen, but it's human. So
Nice.
this is actually a visual history of the human anatomy from the Renaissance period to modern day. So you actually see drawings of what they viewed as the human anatomy system, like back in the 1500s, all the way up through modern day. So it's
Wow.
cool just to see kind of how that has transformed over time and how detailed the drawings and the art and the representations of human anatomy have been. So I use that book a lot to sort of help conjure up some ideas and inspire me in one way or another.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, mine is my mind goes to what I know of anatomy through the ages, and I feel like they were not necessarily kind in olden days. So I feel like that's got to be helpful as well to kind of.
Yeah, there are a lot of representations. For some reason, like when they draw like the children, like the heads are just monstrously huge. And
Huh.
these are super tiny. I don't know why, but I guess back then they thought that that's what the skeleton looked like with a child. It just looks weird. Like, yeah, it's very bizarre early on, but it gets a lot more normal as time progresses.
Oh, that's really cool. So, let's see. What made you know that you were an artist? Like, what was that turning point to be like, I am an artist. That's me.
um, it still feels kind of weird to call myself an artist, if that makes any sense. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, I don't know why it's so uncomfortable for me, but it still just feels kind of weird to refer to myself as that, even though, you have family and friends that tell you like, that's what you are. And it's like, I don't feel that way. I just like to draw. But if I had to pick one thing, I think it was probably when I had a total stranger from Canada see my artwork online, and he reached out and asked if he could get permission to get it tattooed on him.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I gave him permission, but I didn't think he'd actually go through with it. And then sure enough, a week later, he sent me a picture, and there's my artwork like covering his entire forearm. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit. Maybe I am kind of good at this.
I hope you had them sign your name on that, that tattoo. This is my art. That's amazing.
No.
That's really cool to have that. Look, I love your work. I want it on my body.
Yeah, I've actually had a couple other people get tattoos of my stuff, but they actually had them tattoo in my signature as well. And I was like, you don't have to do that. Like, as long as you send me a picture so I have the side by side of my drawing and your tattoo, don't feel like you have to put my signature on your body as well. But that's happened a few times too.
That's so very awesome. All right, so we've got your drafting table, which is amazing. Do you like bright lights or dark lights whenever you're working? Do you play music whenever you have the table on?
So I just for the purpose of being able to see, I like relaxing in dark lit rooms more. It's just more relaxing than just really bright lights. Kind of reminded me of a doctor's office, and it's hard to relax in a doctor's office. So typically I like more dimly lit rooms to relax in, but when it comes to drawing, I have to have, that light source. So then in that case, I'll turn on all the lights I can just so I can see better. But I I either do I either listen to like calming ambient music, or I listen to podcasts about serial killers and urban legends.
Oh, nice.
There's no in between. It's just one or the other. It kind of depends on the mood I'm in, I guess.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. What genre is that called? The murder talk, all of that. That's the genre of
Yeah,
real
yeah,
crime or something. True crime. There we go.
yes, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. That makes
Those
sense.
podcasts are interesting. It's either that or it's like relaxing ambient music. There's just usually no in between. It's one of the two.
Right, right, absolutely. So I know that you display your work because people in Canada are finding it. How do you display it or sell it even?
So it's through my Instagram. I most recently got a website about a week ago for the purposes of the art walk, but it's something I've been thinking about for a while, but I really just need the art to kind of push me to actually do it. But most of my stuff gets displayed on my Instagram account, so that's where I post everything.
Oh, wonderful. And what is your Instagram account, if that's okay?
It's Mindy K Illustrations, so MINDYK Illustrations.
Beautiful. Okay, so that people can find your stuff and be like, hey, I love this.